Hello and welcome, folks. So the house frenzy continues as we end the first quarter of 2022. And despite of the slight increase in interest rates, the home prices are not slowing down anytime soon, except for in some states, which we'll talk about in a minute. In this video today, I will talk about some of the mistakes you will be making in submitting your offers, folks, and it's costing you a house of your dreams. I will give you some scenarios and examples so you can win the house of your dreams and maybe fix a few little things in your strategy to really get that deal sealed. And this is a seller's market, so it's very difficult to penetrate through that. But I got some really good tips for you in this video. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm your host AK. I do affordable housing for the needy. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a real estate investor for over a decade. This channel is real estate for the outsider. I've started this channel so people like you and myself who weren't born with a silver spoon can have a chance to succeed. So if you're into this kind of stuff, please click the like and subscribe button. Show some love for your boy AK. Thank you. Have you ever heard the saying, stay out of trouble? If you don't make the mistakes you've been making so far, you'll increase your chance of winning that offer. Folks, we're all competing for the same houses. So why is your offer getting rejected and not others? Well, there's more to it than meets the eye, and you're about to find out in this video. So if that's what you're here for, stick around to learn more. As the sellers reject your offer, you shouldn't just walk away and go to the next seller and the next seller and keeps applying for offers. You should never do that, folks. You need to stay there and find out, why was your offer rejected? You need to call up your agent and ask them, I want to find out from the seller's agent, why was my offer rejected? What was the cause of it? Was I number one, number two, number three in the place? What happened? Was I the last person? And what was the reason? The earnest money? Was it the money down? Was it the bank? What was it? Every problem is a lesson learned, folks, and you must learn that lesson before you're going to win the house of your dreams in this market. And in some cases, it's something as simple as the bank you're using. Think about it for yourself, right? If you get a letter from Bank of America, right, versus some ABC Joe Schmo Bank Credit Union in a small town, which one would you consider? I would consider the Bank of America because I know it's a solid bank. They're not just going to give the letter to anybody who doesn't qualify properly. And if you're a real estate agent, again, these agents sometimes drive me crazy. I love them and I hate them sometimes. If they're not giving you the right answer, folks, it's time to fire the agent and hire a new one. There's plenty of agents in the market. Don't be scared. You're not going to find a new one. If you have 10 offers rejected, there's something wrong that you're doing or your real estate agent is doing. You need to stay on top of them. So my request to you is, it doesn't matter how good your agent is, you need to stay on top of them and you need to make sure they're delivering every single ounce of value that you expect them to deliver. So the next one you want to look into is something as simple as earnest money deposit, folks. In this market, people are putting out more than 1% interest money deposit. So are you putting less than that? Are you putting less than 1%? If so, that's a problem. You don't want to be cheap up front. And I understand the earnest money deposit is something you don't get back if you don't qualify. But you want to build your case before you even start to make an offer, folks. That's why I talked about in my previous video, you need to have a solid, robust profile. And if you don't have that, it's going to be a problem. So you better make sure that you have a solid profile and that your earnest money is sufficient. In fact, as much as possible, your down payment is substantial, okay? So you can win this house and the seller can take you seriously. You see what I'm saying? Yes, it matters. Are you offering enough incentives? For example, you may want to pay for the title cost, okay? Title cost is often substantial for some people. It's a nice gesture to say, you know what, we'll pay for your title cost, or we'll pay for your moving expenses, and so on and so forth. Are you making this mistake? You're not offering that. If not, you need to put this in the letter, offer these things. Let me tell you a story what happened with a friend of mine. His house was being sold for $1.1 or $1.2 million, I forget, last year. So he listed his house in this neighborhood where there was other houses also for sale in the same price range. So he was competing with other offers. He put in his offer that he's giving free patio furniture. All the patio furniture, right? Free patio furniture. And people were just flocking in his house more than anybody else. So why? It's an incentive. In America, people love free stuff. I don't know why. So you need to capitalize on that. You need to make your offer stand out. Are you making the mistake of not having your offer stand out? By these little things, If you're not offering those incentives, you might be at a loss, folks. You might be a step behind everybody else. And maybe that's the only reason your offer is being rejected. Do you not have a pre-approval letter? Some people just think pre-approval letter is not important, but don't make that mistake, folks. In this market, everything counts. It's like they say in the gym, the sleep is important, the food is important, the workout is important, all of it is important. Similarly, the pre-approval letter is important, and pre-approval letter better be of the substantial amount, the amount that you can buy the house for. For example, I just mentioned that $390,000 is not the same as $400,000. In fact, if you are approved for $500,000, I would be looking for a house that's worth $450,000 or $460,000, so you can have some padding to increase your offer. So make no mistake, pre-approval letter and having a robust offer and enough money down is very, very critical. So do not make that mistake. But if you talk to the sellers who are rejecting you, they will tell you, oftentimes the seller's agent will tell you, look, your client credit was awesome, their down payment was awesome, but the bank they're using, we're not sure if this bank is for real, so we bypass that offer. Are you not waiving some of the smaller contingencies in your offer, such as inspection or some of the items in the inspection? Folks, you can add to your offer that we can waive up to $5,000 of inspection repairs that may come from the inspection. So, of course, if something costs $10,000, then you can come back to the negotiating table. But at least it gives the seller some sort of comfort level that, this person is willing to give up any small little things like the paint, the wood, the hardwood, the HVAC system, maybe some small items that they're worried about that are broken, that you can just give them a relief and incentive that, I will cover these items. These will not matter. These will not be a factor in our sale if you take our offer. Now, another reason that I have seen, and this is a sad one, folks, are you using an FHA loan or a VA loan? Sometimes these FHA loans are not popular with sellers, folks. They go with conventional. They like the conventional. So please be mindful of that. If you're using any such loans, you might be at a disadvantage. But again, talk to the seller. Ask their agent, what was the reason that prompted the seller to reject my offer? Would you please tell me? Because I'm really trying to improve my chances. And if they're kind enough, they will tell you that. Another quick one, again, talking about incentives. You want your offer to shine above anybody else, not just by amount, not just by down payment, not just by the bank, not just by the earnest money, but also showing some goodwill. Hey, you have a month to move out of the house. Don't rush, please. This is your house still. Even though we have the keys, we paid for the house, you can stay in the house for the next couple of months or a month or so on our expense. We don't want to rush you. We may pay for your moving expenses too. You can offer some of these things. How nice it is that somebody's buying a house is telling you, look, you don't need to rush to move out of the house. I can cover you. I got you because your payment is not due till the next month anyways. So don't make the mistake of shortchanging and squeezing everything out of the seller's pockets. Okay, just leave some things on the table. That's the name of the game these days, folks. We leave some things on the table. So don't make that mistake. Don't rush the seller, okay? Another very important thing, a soft skill, folks, soft skills. Do you have good relationship with your agent? Do you have a good relationship? Do they argue with you? Do they make you feel like you don't know what you're talking about? Maybe they don't have the soft skills. Maybe they don't return your calls. Maybe they kind of like wishy-washy stuff. They never tell you the full story. Maybe they're always blaming the seller's agent that, the agent was a jackass or someone doesn't want to deal with me. Do they have a personality issue? If you can gauge that, folks, you want to get rid of this agent because they're bad news. If they can't even get along with you, if they can't even respect you, how would they respect the seller's agent and get you the offer that you want? And soft skills is number one. If somebody is giving you an eerie feeling that they are not on top of the game, if somebody is not nice to you, if somebody's making you feel like you don't know what you're talking about, you don't want that kind of agent, folks. You want them out of your team, just like a bad player, okay? I will tell you and share a story with you, which happened to a friend of mine, a neighbor of mine. He was selling his house up here in Fairfax long time ago, okay? And I referred an agent to him who was nice to me way back when, okay? I don't know what happened to this agent, but this agent wasn't returning some of the buyer's calls. So my friend called me and he's like, man, I got a call from a buyer about my property that Matt's not returning their calls, because he wasn't sure if he can even talk to a buyer or a seller. So I said, no, you have your agent, but if Matt is not returning their call, you must call them back. So he called this investor back, and it was an investor guy who said, look, I'm paying you $3,000 than your asking price, but I'm waiving all the inspection, all the contingencies, and the appraisal, and I'm going to buy this property with you, and I'm going to close in 1 week. Well, guess what? My friend needed the money, so he bypassed the agent to talk to the buyer who then ended up buying his house, and he ended up firing the agent based on the fact that he wasn't providing the service that he deserved. So sometimes that might happen. You may end up with a bad agent, folks. You may have to contact the seller or buyer yourself, okay? Take matters in your own hands. Last but not least, find out the vulnerabilities in your house. When you go and walk the house, you're gonna see some cracks in the ceiling. You may see a old roof. You may see some moisture in the drywall. You may see some cracked hardwood. You may see some plumbing that's an issue. Find out all those things and make a list of these items. Why? Because these things could be leverage for you to negotiate, folks. You want to tell them that we understand that you have a leaky plumbing, you have a leaky roof, and vice versa. We're willing to bypass all of that in inspection in order for you to accept our offer and sell us the house that we want. So sometimes spelling things out, makes the seller feel like, wow, I was worried about my leaky roof, man, but this person is really so upfront and honest, and they're willing to bypass that. See, one thing you must understand, the seller doesn't want any headaches. The last thing they want is accept a large offer, which is substantially larger than anybody else. And then the inspection comes, and they see the leaky roof and the cracked wood and all this, and then the piping, and then the offer falls apart. The buyer now wants to renegotiate their offer, maybe up to $30,000, $40,000, depending on how much the damage is in the house. The seller doesn't want that headache. They just want to sell the house. You don't want to be the buyer who's giving the seller any headache. You just want to chop, 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 close early, okay? Quick offers, flexible inspection, blah, blah, blah. And then you seal the deal and you move on. And one last time, don't start with lowball offers, folks, that you're going to start with 360, then 370, then 380, and 390. We don't have time for that, folks. No seller is going to entertain that offer. They may never even come back to you. They may just say, your offer is rejected, please don't come back. Sellers do that sometimes. Sellers can do whatever they want, This is the seller's market, folks, so you can't be playing this game back and forth. Folks, I had a wonderful chance to visit several cities in the past couple of months. I went to Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Pakistan, and I saw some of the properties, wonderful, wonderful houses. And the property and the real estate there is just amazing. But to my surprise, what I found out that not all the cities and not all the countries and continents have prices increasing like US. In fact, even in the US, not all the cities are increasing in prices. And I want to share that with you guys to encourage you guys to now start making some offers and go after some of these areas that I'm sharing with you. So the first city I want to share with you guys is Boston. Wow. I mean, Boston, the average medium house price is pretty high compared to national average, right? 700,000. But look how the market is coming back down, folks. As of September 2021, the market was at the highest, but now come January, February, the market keeps going down, and it might even pull back further than that. So now the next town that I want to also share with you is Stamford, Connecticut. Wow, who would have thought this town is not going to be popular because it's close to, not too far from New York. As of December 2021, a few months ago, right, when the stock market was about to crash, the prices started to trickle down. As of February 2022, the prices have come down below 500,000 to now 450 or 425, I would say. So I think that this market, the Stamford, Connecticut market, is a great market where you can still find some deals. Once again, these YouTubers and media are not telling you the truth, folks. Prices are not going higher in every single city, every single state of US. That's not the case. Another example I'll give you is Salem, Massachusetts. As of last October 2021, Salem, Massachusetts has gone down substantially, up to $100,000 in price since last October up till January. Now it's slowly picking back up because the summer is here and people want to look at houses and maybe the inventory is low and so on and so forth. So that's another opportunity of another city, okay? Now let's come back home here, right, to the DMV area. Let's look at, just pick an area, Laurel, Maryland. Wow. Laurel, Maryland also has prices coming back down. Laurel had a price drop, significant drop in November of 2021. The prices dropped almost over $100,000, folks. This kind of shows how the fluctuation in the market is. So if you're in the Maryland area, try Laurel, Maryland, folks. It's a great town. And the prices went back up, in January. Now they're coming back down. I have a feeling it may go back down again to the upper 200 or maybe mid 300. So there's a chance for you to seal the deal. So not every city is going higher in prices. As you know, also San Francisco Bay Area went down $300,000 on the average median price. So that's an area that you can also try to move in, because a lot of people are moving out of California to Arizona and Ohio and other places and Vegas. And so this creates an opportunity for those who want to move back into the city and who like living in the city. So folks, I want to thank you. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Please support the channel. There's a bigger cause here. This is not just to make money or anything. This is to create affordable housing for people. Folks, the goal is to influence and educate the outsider, the people who are not considered important in meetings, in companies, who are not given the chance, the opportunity, the promotions they deserve because they don't have the information that the rich has. Folks, a lot of rich people don't want people who are poor or middle class to come up. That's why your government keeps taxing them, right? That's why I have the tax service to help you guys with taxes as well, because it's not what you make, it's also what you keep. They want you to stay down, pay higher taxes, not have the information, not buy real estate. And because, all the rich people, they buy real estate, and I want you to also buy real estate. I'm so glad to be back from travel. Travel has been hectic. I do plan on going to London again to see some properties, and I will share that video. I love you all. I will see you in my next video. Until then, have a fantastic day. Bye now.